reaching out to kids who are in crisis. I'd first like to talk to you about the history of the New York Rangers. Before they were called the New York Rangers, they were called the New York Americans in 1925, and later became the Rangers in 1926. Due to financial difficulties within the league during World War II, the league came down to 6 teams. They were called the original 6. These 6 teams were the Toronto Maple Leafs, the Montreal Canadiens, the Detroit Red Wings, the Boston Bruins, the Chicago Blackhawks, and the New York Rangers. I would now like to talk to you about some established players who established themselves within the franchise. These 3 players in particular are Brian Leetch, Mike Richter, and Mark Messier. Brian Leetch, who wore number 2 for the New York Rangers, leads the franchise in assists. And he is the first U.S.-born player to win the Conn Smythe Trophy. The Conn Smythe Trophy goes to the player who is the most outstanding during the playoffs. I'd next like to talk to you about Mark Messier. Mark Messier was their captain and their catalyst during the 1994 Stanley Cup run. That's it. And now I'd like to talk to you about Mike Richter. Mike Richter, who was their backbone for many years, was their goalie. And he leads the franchise and wins for a goalie, and also represented the U.S. in the Olympics. I'd now like to talk to you about Madison Square Garden, where they play. Madison Square Garden is located on 8th Avenue between 31st and 33rd Street in Manhattan. It is owned by Madison Square Garden, Inc., and Executive Chairman James Dolan, who owns the Knicks and Rangers, looks over all financial obligations within the organization. I would now like to talk to you about the management of the New York Rangers franchise, people who have helped the Rangers gain credibility throughout the years. One of these people is Lester Patrick, who was their first ever general manager. He was their general manager from 1926 to 1946, and he led the Rangers to their first Stanley Cup in 1933. He is the first person to win a Stanley Cup as both a general manager and a coach. Next is Glenn Sather. Glenn Sather is their current day general manager since 2000. He has had success with another franchise called the Edmonton Oilers. He has won 4 Stanley Cups with that franchise, but he has yet to win anything with the Rangers, which is why many people want him to be fired. I'd now like to talk to you about some coaches. These people have helped the Rangers become a well-respected team around the league. One of these people is Emile Francis. Emile Francis was their first ever coach. Herb Brooks, who was their coach from 1981 to 1985, and he's probably well known for when he led the U.S. team that upset the Soviet Union in 1987 Lake Placid Olympics. And that's also known as Miracle on Ice. Last is Mike Keenan. Mike Keenan led the Rangers to their first Stanley Cup in 54 years. And he's probably the most popular amongst Ranger fans. And now I'd like to talk to you about certain charities that the Rangers associate with. One of these charities is the Garden of Dreams Foundation, which is a non-profit charity that helps kids who are in crisis that suffer from life-ending diseases. They try to make their dreams come true in any way possible. Unfortunately, these kids do not make it through these diseases. Another charity is called Charity Buzz, which auctions off sports memorabilia. It's when past players and current players sign sticks, pucks, and jerseys, and all the money from this go to charities. Some of these charities that Charity Buzz associates with is the Breast Cancer Foundation and John F. Kennedy Foundation. I'd now like to talk to you about community events that the Rangers reach out to the community. One of these events is Casino Night, which is a fundraiser which is associated with the Garden of Dreams Foundation. It's a one-night event. It's located in Gotham Hall. You get to associate and socialize with the whole Rangers organization, and all the proceedings from this go to the Garden of Dreams Foundation. Another community event is the Rangers Golf Classic, where you get to play a round of golf with past alumni, and after the round of golf, you get to they host a press conference where you can ask them questions about the current state of the team and where the team is headed going forward. And there's another great tradition, which is called Blue Shirts Off Our Back. It's a contest where you can write a letter, make a video, and send it into the Rangers organization that best exemplifies you as a Ranger fan. And the winner of this gets to go on the ice in the last home game of the regular season and gets a jersey directly off the player's back. So in conclusion, the New York Rangers franchise is more than just a sports team. They bring much more to the table in helping others within the community and reaching out to people around the world. And that's it. You can press the button.
Very